Yo, what's up, Foolys? It's your boy Othree. Welcome back to the Othree Exhibit. This is exhibit number 38. This is for the family, friends, and followers of Tonz. We talk about how we met, his love and passion for cars, the benefits of having a large network, and more. Now for the story of Tonz, post up and enjoy. Right here chilling, my boy Tonz.
Yo, yo,
First time
what's
ever
up?
doing something like this or what, fool?
Yeah, this is my first time. Shit, I'm fucking nervous as fuck. But be patient, guys. Be patient. I'll try to answer all these questions or whatever.
These federal questions and shit. I I always talk about my boy Tonz. I mention him everywhere. His name is everywhere. My fucking road dog right here. We go way back, known each other since we were little kids, and we'll talk about how we actually got cool because it wasn't really like from the jump. Now, every time I start one of these, now we're gonna get into it. And every time I start a podcast episode, I like to talk about family roots and identity. Let's talk about your story. Let's start from the beginning because I believe that our story begins before we're even born. So my question to you is, where's your family from?
My mom's from Langostura, Michoacan, and my pops is from Jalisco, Poncitlan, Jalisco.
And knowing both of your parents, right? I got cool with both of your parents, obviously over the years. I know that eventually, well, your pops was born here, correct?
Yeah, my pops was born in LA. Yeah,
And then your mom eventually, what was the story behind your mom? Because I know she was born over there, correct?
yeah. She was born over there, but she was brought over here as a kid when she was like not even a kid. She was just a baby. She's a couple months, I believe.
And they both landed and they both grew up in the same neighborhood, correct?
Yeah, they grew up in the same area.
We were just gonna, for the future, for the rest of the interview and for context, we're just gonna call it the East Side, right? This is gonna be, the talking point. It's how we got cool. His family grew up in the same area. My family came to call home in the same area. But talk about what it was like growing up with your mom's side of the family over here in South Central.
Well, growing up with my mom's side of the family, it was basically like honestly like little kids, desmadre. I grew up a lot right there with in Martin Luther King on the east side. Um, I grew up with my cousins, my grandma, and I had a few of my tias that used to live right there too with. And yeah, it was just puro desmadre, just fucking around, kids, BB guns, uh, be around the neighborhood, getting to meet everybody from the neighborhood around there. Um, you know, have a little get together, have BB gun fights right there. You know, about it. Going to go walk to Christie's whenever we wanted to get some munchies or whatever. You know, um, but
Real
yeah,
real popular little mini store right there on close to Ross Snyder Park, right?
yeah, yeah,
I got to meet some of your little cousins because they're a little younger than you. My boy fucking I don't honestly I don't even know why I call him Looney on the fucking on my contacts for Javier. Looney and Stovix and Lencho and Lench Mob. And then obviously rest in peace Patrick. I got
yeah,
to meet all of them. Cool, funny individuals and shit. But you were older than them, right? How old? Who
yeah,
was
yeah.
the youngest one? Is Stovix? Who was the second? Who's the one closest to you in age?
It was Lynch Mob.
My boy
Lynch Mob
Lynch
is
Mob.
he's the one closer to me.
And I bring that up because talking about your pop side of the family, it was different, correct? Growing up on same area, same neighborhood, but it was a different experience when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure it was.
Because you didn't have any cousins that were closer to your age, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't have really, my cousins. They were a lot older than me. There was nobody really like around the same age as me. That's why you know, I would go to with my grandma on my mom's side of the family. But growing up over here with my dad's side of the family, they were more about, business, making money. They had one of them had a car wash and another one had a towing company. It was family business. But yeah, pretty much that's how it was with my dad's side of the family.
And your that side of the family, one of your relatives, most a couple of your relatives were my neighbors, like literally direct neighbors, which is how we met when we were little kids,
Yeah, yeah,
little morrillos and shit. But like you said, you didn't really come around too much, so it's not like we got cool right away. We knew we existed and we knew who each other. When we see each other, like, oh, that's that fool. Fucking, we had a different. Your family had a nickname for you. I forgot what it was, but you had multiple nicknames. They call you multiple names because you have so many
yeah,
nicknames and shit. Um, but I was like, oh, that's that fool, Eric, right there. And as time went on, you know, we just got cool. But let's talk about your childhood real quick, cause your family's from South Central, your family's from the East Side, from this area, but you grew up somewhere else too, correct?
yeah, yeah. So when I was younger, I grew up in, well, basically I've always lived in Whittier my whole life. But on the weekends, growing, I would basically be in LA most of the time. But I would go to school out here in Whittier. Uh, Elementary would be Laurel, middle school Hillview, and my high school years I went to Lacerna High School.
For sure. Let's talk about who Tons was in elementary school. What kind of clothes were you wearing in elementary school?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Fuck, I didn't have my dad in the picture when I was young. Um, so it was just my mom. So whatever we could get, fucking, it'd be Ross. Ross would be the place to go. Shit,
Yeah.
and I'd be wearing some fucking baggy ass pants. Nice little t-shirt. But I was never that type to be matching and looking fresh. But I appreciate what I had. So can't go bad with that.
Ross, Marshalls. Out here for us, with me, it was Fias Paredes. If people know what that shop is, like it's
Yeah, yeah,
classic. I don't know. I don't think it's we used to go to the one right here in HP. But yeah, those are the classic ones. Getting never mixed, never matching, dog. That's the funny part about it. It's never matching. I was getting whatever the fuck. At least speaking for myself, and I know you could relate to it, but whatever our parents could afford, like that was it.
yeah, yeah, hell yeah.
And then once in a while, get like a fancy pair of shoes and shit, but that was it. That was about it. What kind of music were you into in elementary school?
Elementary school, I'm gonna be honest, man. I can't really remember too much like what I used to listen to back then, but I think one of I'm not sure when it came out, but I think it did. But usually I would listen to like West Coast rap, just Snoop Dogg, whatever, like. But I remember, I think, I'm not too sure, but I think there used to be a song. I forgot who sings it. I think it's Outkast, Miss Jackson.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh,
And that's the South. That's not even West Coast. That's not even
yeah, yeah.
over
But
here
I
type
remember I
shit.
used to listen to that shit in the radio, and I used to get fucking like so caught up into that one right there. That was one of my favorite songs when growing up when I was young.
Catchy.
Yeah, a little catchy song right there.
Just for some context and just for references in terms of the timeline, we're both 95 babies. Obviously, different time periods. January, my boy Tun's December. But just the same age. Obviously, just split up because of the academic stuff and graduated 2 different years. But if we try to put it into perspective, Tupac had already passed away. Biggie had already passed away. At the time, Eminem was the biggest thing, but the South was like emerging. Like they had already emerged, they had already like established themselves, but now they were taking over. And Outkast blew up in the '90s. Now they're popping in the fucking radio. Nelly, remember Nelly?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But Eminem was like the fucking top of the top. 50 Cent eventually came out a couple years later. Were you into 50?
yeah, hell yeah. One of my favorite songs was Many, Many
Yeah.
Men.
Manny Man. Yeah, everybody loved that shit. No matter if you were fucking 6, 7 years old, dog, or you were an adult, everybody fuck with that one song right there. But you said West Coast rap music. Obviously, Snoop Dogg was a little older at this point already. And knowing you and your family, did you listen to the funk music, or was that something that you just listened to because your relatives were listening to it?
Yeah, that'd be something that I listen to because I used to hear it around. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know too much like I know songs by like listening to them, but I didn't really know them like by the name and stuff
Mhm.
or the artist. But like sometimes like I just listen to it and I'll be like, oh shit, that's a badass song. But
Yeah.
back in the days, I don't think social media was like, or the internet wasn't popping like the way it's popping now. Where you could like fucking hear the song and
Shazam
and,
it.
and yeah, you could, yeah, exactly, or you could try to find it. Now you like for me now I know like some of the artists or whatever, and I just like search up their name and then I'll try to look for the song right there.
Oldies, right? You
Yeah.
into oldies
So
like that too?
yeah, I grew up listening to oldies when pretty young. My mom, she used to bump that basically all the time.
Do you I know that our backgrounds are both Mexican, but obviously our childhood's way different in terms of the music.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
obviously your influences. I think you could we could say that it was more Chicano, right? And
Mm-hmm.
with me, it was more traditional Mexican. So I grew up listening like cumbias, norteñas, and like traditional Mexican music. And narco corridos wasn't really like bumping in my house like that, but
Yeah,
we knew
yeah.
what corridos were. Were you into that kind of Spanish music or not?
When I was younger, not really. I started kind of listening to that already growing up, like going into like high school. I used to kind of
Los Bukis and shit.
those bookies and all. I listen to anything, bro.
What about tons in school? What kind of a student were you in your academics?
In elementary,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I, I was a little, I was a little desmadroso, here and there. Um, I wasn't too. I'm gonna be straight up. I wasn't smart like that. You know, I fucking whatever. But my grades were pretty más o menos bien. Like they weren't fucking too low.
You used to get numbers and shit or letters?
Um, I think for middle school. I mean middle school. I'm sorry. For elementary, I used to get I think there were letters numbers. I mean numbers.
Remember, this is grade us from like a 1 to a 4 or some shit like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I used to get numbers in elementaries.
What about behavior wise?
Behavior wise, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I was chilling. I'd be cool. I don't get me wrong. I'd be moody sometimes. Or I'd be fucking around, be a little active. Too hyper. But mainly, I was just chilling. I was just watching everybody else doing their thing, and I was just chilling. I wasn't too crazy.
And then in middle school, how much did that change? Were you still the same kid? Because now you're going into your teenage years. In terms of your academics and your behavior in school, did that change, or were you still the same fool?
I felt like I was the same, but I know like in middle school I kind of started, you know, being a little smarter on the way I'd act, because I remember growing up I used to like, my my uncles, they used to tell me just forget, just be cool, don't fuck around and don't, just be chilling.
Music wise, how much did that change, or was that still the same shit?
The music, it started changing a lot more, during middle school. Um, well, like Little Wayne started popping and all that.
Hmm.
So I listened to everything. Little Wayne, fucking Sean Keystone, or whatever his name is.
Oh, when fucking beautiful, what was that one song? Beautiful
Yeah,
girls and shit. That shit was popping. Everybody was
Sean Keystone.
into that kind of music.
Yeah,
Auto
but
tune, T Pain. Remember
T
that
Pain,
shit?
bro. Hey, T
Yeah,
Pain was the shit back then, bro.
yeah.
I still be bumping some T Pain sometimes. Shit.
I'm telling you, like in the early to late 2000s, right before like 2009, like right before Facebook came out. This was still like MySpace music was the thing. You know, you have a MySpace?
Me? Nah, I never had a MySpace, man. I used to see everybody else on MySpace and shit.
What?
Like,
You never had a MySpace, way?
I don't think I've ever had a MySpace, bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think I ever did get one. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. Fucking, I didn't have internet like that, you know. I was just, I barely even had I didn't even have a phone. I don't think in middle school.
Yeah, same me either. But I was blessed to have a computer at home and an older brother who was like into computers and shit. So
Yeah,
he was always looking, and then YouTube started popping up, and they started popping, and you know how like, before all these copyrights and all this other shit that they used to get like channels taken down, people would upload upload any kind of music, unheard, unreleased, underground, extreme underground music. So it was like an influx of music and stuff. Did you ever get into Chicano rap? Because in middle school, for like that was my shit. Like the most active fucking cholo, bald head, high socks, East LA fucking music, fool. Did you ever get into
yeah,
that or not?
yeah. Well, I was into like what Mr. Capone, fucking Little Rob, fucking MB Riders. You know, I used to
Yeah.
listen to all that shit. You know, también. You know, and I used to listen. I like. I'm gonna be straight up. I used to only listen to it more because every time I'd go either to LA or come back home to Whittier, that's all we would be jamming. Is just fucking Chicano, either oldies or Chicano rap,
Like that
for a
lovey-dovey
while.
Chicano rap, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, I was into like that, the most extreme gang bang ass fucking active big locote talking about like fucking going like super extreme with it, you know, like I was into all that shit. But you know, a little bit of that Little Rob. I know Little Rob has some hits in the radio. He has some MTV music videos and shit. I know this is a controversial food for some people. Did you listen to SPM in middle school or not?
SPM, just some of it, some of his songs, not I wasn't too like crazy on it, but yeah, I would listen to a bit of it.
Yeah, to me it was a little different because like I knew this fool was Mexican or Chicano, but he was from Texas.
From Houston.
Yeah, from Houston. Then so like to me it was a little different. What about your fashion? Did that shit change in middle school or not?
Fashion, just a bit, not too much. Um, I still be wearing Ross, but it was a little different, but I wasn't. It was still basically it was, here and there. There'll be the days where I dress a little different. Then there'll be my days where I dress the same as, baggy ass clothes or
Did you
what, still not matching.
did you get to pick your outfits or was that your mom's?
Nah, I used to fucking pick my own shit, bro. I didn't get any help.
Oh no, I think I'm gonna be real with you, fool. I think my mom stopped dressing me up like in seventh or eighth grade, but it's because I had to wear uniform in middle
All right.
school. Like
Yeah,
it
you
was a
see,
huevo uniform at huevo, 100%. So I never really got to wear clothes like that, unless it was like a family party. Like at home, it was all straight fucking basketball shorts and a regular tee.
yeah, yeah. Nah, with me, man, I didn't wear any uniforms or anything. You know,
Oh,
I
so you had to
just,
wear fits and shit.
yeah, I just had to wear fits, fucking unmatched fits. But it was cool though. Shit.
Fuck it up, make it work. I didn't ask you about this in elementary school, but we could combine elementary and middle school. What kind of shows and movies were you into?
And and I used to like, I'm gonna be honest, I like action, bro. I like action and war movies.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, whenever I get a chance, either that, elementary I was watching cartoons, so I'd be in fucking what's that at Channel 5, on
yeah, WB Kids.
yeah, or
After
Arthur.
school, after
Yeah.
school, at like from like 4 to 6 or something like that, and then on Saturdays,
Yeah,
WB
yeah.
Kids from like 8 a.m. to like 12. I think it was
Yep.
like the time. Oh, you said Arthur, like PBS Kids? Are you into PBS
PBS
Kids?
Kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the fucking cyber
Clifford? Cyber
cyber
Chase?
cyber chase, bro. That shit was crazy.
The hacker? Was that was the green food? The hacker?
Yeah, the hacker.
Yo, those shows were dope. I remember you ever get into like I know Channel 11 sometimes has some cartoons. I know for a while they were showing some DC characters on Fox. like some Batman, Spider-Man shit. No, Spider-Man is Marvel, but I think they had like more like
I
the what was it called? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sometimes, I think on
Teenage
Channel
Mutant
11.
Ninja Turtles, yeah, or fuck, what's that one I was telling you about the other day? Big guy and Boy Rusty.
I remember that shit, but I never really watched that one.
Yeah, yeah, I used to be on that shit, bro. That used to be one of my favorite shows.
I wonder because now that televisions are different now, right? Because everybody's like into streaming platforms. Now you could get YouTube on a smart TV. I don't haven't actually sat down and like back in the day when you would turn on the TV and you would surf
Yeah.
channels. I haven't
Uh
done that
huh.
in a minute. I don't know if they still do. I know there was at one point they stopped showing cartoons on Saturdays. And I
Oh,
was like,
for
what
real?
the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck? But I guess that's because of the streaming platforms. Now you have Netflix and everybody has a fucking
Yeah,
a
yeah.
streaming platform. Then you have Disney Plus. You can find all the old school X-Men, Spider-Man shit. You go on HBO, you have all the fucking whatever you could find there. And elementary or middle school, were you into anime or not?
I'm gonna be straight up with you. You don't remember one time when I used to clown the shit out of it? I just got into anime recently, bro. So hell no, I gotta tell you, like in my younger days, I wasn't into it like that.
Laughing at the kids running like Naruto
Yeah, bro. I was never into anime when I was younger, bro. I just got into that shit like maybe a few years back.
as an adult, huh?
Yeah, bro. Fucking just watching some of that One Piece, bro. Can't go wrong with that.
What about wrestling? Were you into wrestling in elementary or middle school?
Um, yeah, I was. I was into my favorite ones was Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio,
Yeah,
Undertaker, Steve Austin.
the classic,
Hell yeah, those were like
the good
my
old
my
days.
favorite ones. Yep, the good old days.
SmackDown dog on Thursdays. This before people don't really they forget it was on Thursdays back in the day.
Back in the days.
Thursday night SmackDown for on Channel 13 on UPN. I don't know if I don't know if you were a SmackDown person. I didn't have cable like that, so I didn't couldn't watch Raw. So to me, it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
SmackDown was like the number one shit. Big Show,
yeah.
Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio,
Hell yeah.
and then Raw had like Triple H and Evolution, and then they had all these other wrestlers. I don't know if you had cable like that. Did you watch Raw or
Nah,
SmackDown?
I think I was more on SmackDown.
Yeah, that was the best. That
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
best era.
I was more on SmackDown. Used to watch. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember it being like on a Thursday though. I mean, I when I was younger, but I know I used to watch it like on Fridays and shit.
Yeah.
Friday Night SmackDown.
It used to be on Thursdays, and then it went to Friday, and then for a while it was Tuesday, and now it's back on Friday.
Oh, all right, all
And
right.
now it's 3 hours wait, and then Raw is on Netflix.
Raw's on Netflix, so you can watch that shit on Netflix now.
Yeah, you can go on right now for and watch it what happened this past weekend. And then
Mm.
on Peacock, they have like all the old like fucking the library because they started their own network. This is before like Disney Plus and all this shit. These people had their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
network. Now you got to get Peacock to watch the PLEs and all the old school. Like if you want to watch Eddie Guerrero matches before he passed away, like you go on Peacock and pay like $16 a month and watch all the classic ECW shit, like the extreme shit, like all the old pay-per-views are on there. This is my shit. I love wrestling. I just get excited talking about wrestling all the time. That's why John Cena's my favorite wrestler because when he was doing the rapper stuff, remember it was when he was the
Oh yeah,
rapper?
yeah.
He was a
Hell yeah.
SmackDown doing that. What
Those were
about
the good old days right there.
video games? I know our friendship started over video games, but before we met in elementary and in middle school, were you into video games or not?
Nah, not really. I was never playing it like that. The only time I'd be on like video games is when I used to go to my cousin's place. He'd have like fucking all the systems and shit, Xbox, PlayStation, but I was never into it like that.
You never had a PSP or anything?
I used to have, yeah, I used to have a PSP for like a little bit. Then fucking, I'm up my big fingers and shit, fucking shit up quick.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, one of my favorite games that I used to play and I used to love playing when I was younger, when I used to go to my cousins, was a game called The Warriors. The Warriors,
yeah, I remember the
that
Warriors.
fighting game.
Yeah.
That shit was the shit right there, bro.
Did you ever because I know the Alameda Swami is another big place around here in the on the east side, or just in Swami's in general. Did you ever get one of those a thousand? It was like one of those like a thousand games and one you would like plug it into the TV and it was like all these little cheap ass games and shit. Did you ever get
Oh
into
yeah,
that? Remember
yeah.
that?
The fucking with
The
the ones
hunting
with
the
the
bird.
pistol. Yeah, the
Yeah,
hunting the bird one.
yeah,
Yeah, I
the
remember.
ducks and the birds and it was like all the same games, but they were just different characters, the racing and all that.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that shit, man. Fuck, that shit was pretty chill.
Nah, I forgot about that shit. So now in middle school, I know I started seeing you around in middle school a little bit more, right? Is that there's a reason for it, right? Because now you're starting to come on the weekends because you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I started going on the weekends to my uncle's, which is your neighbor.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to fucking go every weekend to go wash cars. Well, not wash cars, vacuum cars. Because that was the first thing I used to do when I was younger. When I was in middle school, like seventh grade, eighth grade, all the way to like high school. I used to just go and I used to go vacuum cars for a while just to make a quick buck, just try to have some money to fucking kick it, eat something. But yeah, every weekend I'd be over there.
And it was all it was for I'd go to Gumbo or like go with my parents and it would just be like a
Like, what's up?
that was it. That was
That
that was
was
literally it. And so now you get into high school, right? Who was tons in high school in terms of your academics and your behavior in terms of like an action like being in school?
um I mean, I was still the same old tons. I used to just be in the chat, like, well, I used to like, yeah, in high school I used to be kind of low key, not really like be all up and like messing around too crazy like that. um I used to just hang out with a couple of homies, and we'd just be fucking, chilling and shit. But yeah, I could say I was pretty calm, pretty chilled. I think I was right then and there. I was kind of like in my skinny jean era slash. There'd be a couple days where I'd be rocking some baggy ass pants, or some. I think I even had some. What do you call those checkered shorts?
The checkered shorts, fool.
Yeah, with the long socks, my little fuero right there.
Oh yeah, like the cholo ones, the fucking swami
Yeah,
shorts and shit.
yeah, yeah. I used to rock some of that right there, here and there. I
Yeah,
felt like I couldn't. I don't know what I wanted to be, either a fucking homie or
a
a
skater.
skater, or
Yeah,
a fuck. So I
a,
was just in that era right there where I
a
didn't even know
fool.
what the fuck I wanted to
You
do.
want to be a fool or a resident or a skater or a
Yeah,
rocker or whatever the fuck.
and it's crazy because I wasn't really bumping rock like that. Towards the only time I'd listen to rock was like already towards, I think, the ending of senior year.
You started
You
getting
know,
into like metal and shit, huh?
yeah, a little bit. I used to have a homie. I used to go to, like, he had a brother, and that fool, he used to play the guitar and shit, and I used to hear that fool, and I used to tell him like, hey, let's bump some of that music you be playing, and he fucking showed me Metallica, Slayer, and I used to be fucking. I got hooked to it, that shit fucking me pegó. Like, I used to listen to it, and I used
Oh,
to just fucking be like, damn, that shit sounds hard right there.
Mexicans love fucking metal, dog. I seen a concert where Metallica played in Mexico, fool, packed,
Oh
packed
yeah,
with
Mexico City or some
fracking.
shit like
Yeah.
that.
Well, Metallica, I think they started here in LA way. I'm pretty sure that's their history. They started in LA somewhere. I think that fool's from Downey or something like that.
Oh, for us.
I might just be fucking throwing some shit, but I know they're from LA, dog. I know they started over here.
Even I think even
And they
I'm
have a
not
Mexican fool on the lineup now.
in Metallica.
In Metallica, the one of the I forgot what he I haven't listened to Metallica in years, fool, but I got into Metallica for a bit and I forgot I forgot what's that fool's name. But there's some fool in there who's Mexican and he's like one of the top fucking I think he plays the bass.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
The
so
long
too. Yeah,
hair, he just looks like one of those fools that you would go up to in school, like, hey, yo, rocker fool. Like
yeah,
he's one of
yeah,
those fools and shit.
yeah. Because there's one of them that like looks like Latino, and then the last one that I think the one that he was playing over there in Mexico City.
Yeah, I think I forget their names. The only ones I remember is Lars. I think that's the drummer. I
Oh,
think
the drummer.
that's the only name I remember. For I don't know everybody else's number name like
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna be straight up too. Yeah, I don't remember none of them. You know, I like by seeing them, I'll be like, oh, that was from Metallica.
Yeah,
Yeah, just fucking looking at the
yeah,
like, you know.
yeah. I had a Metallica like Slayer phase in like 10th grade. I let my hair. That was the first time I let my hair grow out. I used to have like patches on my backpack. Like I said, it was the same thing. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to be a rocker, I wanted to be a some kind of skater, like a shuffler, or like I was still, in the back of my head, I knew that gangbanging wasn't, a part of my lane, fool. But I was like, yeah, I could still kind of be like a fool here and there. At this point, I was already rapping and shit, so I didn't really know what my identity was. But we were the same. That's why we connected, right? That's why we got cool because we were just two fools trying to figure out what the fuck we wanted to do. We have the whole South Central element, like, oh, this is the stereotypical South Central fool. This is what they do. This is how they act. This is how they dress. This is the kind of music they listen to. But then
Yeah,
here we have like our own, we're individuals and this is what we like. We kind of have to hide it. I kind of have to like I wasn't really too vocal about loving books and like wrestling like that. And it was like, oh, I like to smoke and I like to drink, but here I'm over here being a book smart on the low. Like people knew I was a book smart fool, but I try to hide it as much as possible because it didn't fit the image of the rapper fool from the hood and shit. Were you that same dude like in high school? Were you trying to like hide certain elements? Because we do that, dog. We do that as fools.
yeah. I think I was, you know, because at the same time, I'd be fucking thinking like, fuck, you know, like I'd be thinking about like the way that my family was over here in LA, and then I was already like going into like school over here, and it's like two different fucking like zones, you know. It's two different fucking environment.
Two different
Like,
worlds.
yeah, two different worlds, man. And I was just like, fuck, should I bring that world into this, or should I? So I try to keep it like kind of neutral, you know. Like, you know, a lot of foods, like, well, a lot of people, they knew that, you know, I was like I had family from LA. You know, they knew not a lot of people knew, but they didn't know that I have my pops around, and you know, but what was cool is I used to have people that I used to hang out with that, you know, appreciate, like, you know, they were cool with me being who I, like, you know, who I
Being
was
you.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
being me,
being
you
you
know.
for who
So
you were. And
so
there was at one point my sophomore year, your freshman year, like I said, both 95 babies, but academically two different grade levels. And now you're starting to come around a little bit more, even more. Right now you're older and shit, and now I'm older, so now we're a lot more aware. Now we're more conscious, and we start getting cool, dog. Right, and then you start coming over to start playing fucking GTA San Andreas on my PS2. Remember that shit?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
two
that shit was
players fucking running around.
doing drive-bys on the ballers and shit.
Was fucking going around. What was that one? Las Venturas for the
No,
casinos.
oh yeah,
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 going
yeah.
around the casinos, and then what was the other one? Los Fieros or San Fierro,
San
which is
Fierro.
which is San Francisco, and then just doing this madre, running over fucking sex workers, trying to recruit gang members and shit.
Yeah,
Building lowriders. Remember on San Andreas, we all had like a custom lowriders and shit.
yeah. That shit, man, those were the good old days on that game.
Yeah, good old days, and that's how we got cool. So if people are wondering how we got cool, it wasn't over no street shit. It wasn't over no fucking music. It was nothing. It was just strictly video games, which has to do a lot into the future because eventually that shit started popping off. Music wise, entertainment wise, did that change from middle school? Or you kind of talk about your music a little bit, but what kind of like shows and movies were you into now? I mean, we have to stop watching cartoons, right?
Yeah, for sure. Nah, but you know, man, I think my thing was just action. I used to like action shit, you know, like shit that pops up, like, you know, shootings. I don't know why, but that was just that was what used to catch my attention, and and also too comedy. I used to like comedy and shit
Uh,
too. So
And the watch dropped when we were in high school.
yeah, and the watch. Remember that
Remember
when
that
that
shit?
shit popped
Yeah.
up?
And they
Yeah.
filmed that shit right here in the parts of the movie. They filmed right here in the east side. Most of the movie was filmed on the east side. If I'm not mistaken, Newton, shooting Newton. It
Shooting
was like
Newton.
the division that they were filming for the movie and everything. But your life changed in high school too, though, huh? Like you want to talk about your health issues in high school?
Yeah, going into high school, I was in like in the summer of middle school and high school. Going into high school, I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. And yeah, that shit fucking, I was going through some shit, depression. I've never dealt with anything like that. And I felt like that shit was fucking me up, growing up in high school, so, but here I am. I'm still here.
That's all that matters, huh?
Yeah.
I go to Ohio. I leave to Ohio. I go study I go to college to study and I leave LA. Now you're a senior in high school, and then at one point I come back during the summer and I go to your high school graduation, and then we start having a conversation about you maybe going to college and trying to go to college and seeing what's up with it. Let's talk about your experience of going to Rio Hondo for a bit. What was that like?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I was nervous, first time. But yeah, I was going for business. I was trying to major in business, and yeah, I went for like a few semesters, a couple of them.
How many semesters
Yeah,
you go to?
I think like two. It was like 2 semesters.
And you were studying what?
I was majoring in managing business management.
And what was that your major?
Well, because my family, they're all into like business and making money. So I wanted to learn something, or I wanted to learn how I could fucking start my own business, or you know do my own thing. Just making money.
But throughout this process of going to college, because college isn't for everybody. And you said 2 semesters, so that means you dropped out.
Yeah, I dropped out.
Why'd you drop out?
Honestly, it wasn't for me. I felt like I wasn't really doing anything. I was learning a lot of things here and there, but I don't know. I felt like I needed to work, to see what's up. Maybe try something different.
Because you have
I don't.
books and then you have experience.
Yeah, yeah,
And the books they ain't giving they're not paying you, dog,
yeah,
Like
yeah, for sure.
experience
They're
is
not.
paying you, so I guess you wanted to start getting paid.
For sure. Yeah, I did.
What else what was your life like while I was in Ohio? Because I would only come for like a month, 2 months in the summer. I didn't really come visit LA during the winter breaks like that. What were you up to for like those from 2013, like 2017?
2013, 2017. Shit. Honestly, I was just because I graduated in 2014. So like,
Because when I would come visit, we would play Battlefield 4, GTA, like at night. So we were still cool, and our friendship is we're getting tighter, dog, and we're older now. We're not on
yeah,
some
yeah,
like high school shit anymore. And now we have real responsibilities and everything. Well, how much your life changed? Because now you're not going to school.
yeah. I just, honestly, I just started trying to, just working with my uncle. I was working with my uncle for a while. Uh, I try to save up a quick buck, to get myself a little car, so that was one of my main things that I was doing around that time, just trying to work and see if I could get, because I wanted to drive, I even though I didn't even know how to drive like in 2013 to like I think it was 2013, 2015, but I wanted to drive, so I fucking try to save up some money and that way whenever I get the opportunity to drive, I'd go maybe I don't know, try to look for something different to do. And yeah, I mean, just
That's about it.
that's about it. I was working, um,
Taking care of your health.
trying to take care of my health. I don't
I
think I
remember.
don't think I don't think I was doing too bad.
Yeah, that was like a big talking point because you were, getting healthier. You had to get healthier. But my dumb ass is in Ohio drinking, smoking, doing other shit. I'm fucking eating like a fucking malandro dog with fucking high blood pressure, dog. I'm on a road to killing myself. Dog. I'm on a road to dying young, and I know you would always tell me is like if we should you be careful. Cause I know you never drink. That's the funny part is like
Yeah, I never drank
you
like
never
that.
drank, you never smoked. It was like I'm telling you, like when I talk to people about why we're cool and how we got cool, is like two different people, dog. Two different lifestyles, two different backgrounds. I think at that point, the only thing that we had a connection with was that your deal was my neighbor, that we were from South Central, and that we were Mexican. Well,
Yeah,
in video games, right? And I mean, obviously, that those four things they're important, but people talking about like when you're a homie, like you gotta listen to the same music and you was dressed the same and you guys like the same, and then you guys go on fucking double dates and do all kinds of shit together. And we were just two different fucking people, dog. I'm over here trying to do my book smart stuff, going to college. I'm in a frat, and you're over here fucking already working, and you're working around like established businessmen, and you're starting to get your pockets bigger, and I'm broke, and two different fucking worlds, dog. And somehow, some way we made it work, right? Somehow,
yeah,
some
yeah,
way we made it work. And in like 2019, I'm reading this book called The Tipping Point. And in the book, it talks about how ideas and products spread and how they succeed in the world. And that's because some businesses have this person called the connector. And this person, and I don't really forgot how the book goes, but I know the connector is somebody with a large network, and knowing you, I was like, this fool Tons is a connector, and taking it back to the family businesses and knowing all these people in the car industry. Let's talk about your network for a bit because you know a lot of people, dog, in different in the car industry, but you also have connections in other industries like the nonprofits, real estate, cannabis, um, but mostly in the car industry, correct?
yeah. Mainly, like I'm more familiar with like a lot of people in the car industry. That's like the main thing. Getting parts, getting a car fixed, or body shop repairs, whatever. Even towing, even detailing. Because my peoples. But yeah, just mainly it's in the car industries. I do have a couple connections with like like you said, the nonprofits, some nonprofits, and also too in the cannabis industry. Um, and
Handyman,
yeah,
yeah.
handyman. Shout out to the homie
This is the homie
Gooseball.
Goose, yeah. And then like in 2020, like late 2019, right? I have this idea to start a clothing brand called Stay Rowdy. And first person I hit up, I was like, there's two people I hit up. My boy Stay Lifted, because I know he was into the graffiti and that's his stuff. Um, and I hit up you because I was like, if there's somebody that knows people that could help us fund the dream, like it's gonna be Tons. right? And then even your cousin, this Fuluni, was involved in the shadow investments and shit. So he was a part of it. Were you surprised when I asked you to join to be a part of the Stay Rowdy team?
Hell yeah, fool. I mean, I was just my main thing was like trying to see what we were gonna be doing and like what am I gonna be in charge of, like basically, and it was the first time I've ever done anything like that, so I was fucking kind of nervous.
Having to be the accountant, having to keep be responsible for the books, be responsible for the money.
Yeah, fucking
Um,
just making sure everything's getting done right. And we did pretty good. We did
uh,
pretty good. Shit.
we did good, and I tell this to people when people ask me. And I have a video about Stay Rowdy and the history of Stay Rowdy in my YouTube channel. So the reason it didn't work is because, well, I stopped being rowdy. I stopped, I went sober. I stopped drinking, kind of stopped smoking, stopped hanging out. So I was just like, you know what? I don't want to be faking the fun because I was kind of like the face of the brand, and that was it. But the reason it worked was because we were fucking marketing to big fools. Remember that shit?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were
the big.
marketing to big people, and then that was it. Like we're gonna go up to 5XL, and then if somebody needs a bigger shirt, we try to figure it out and try to get that for them. But in 2019, like when we dropped the first shirts, I have a show in my backyard. It's like a concert slash vendor show, and like trying to get into the entertainment side of things, and I'm trying to start throwing my own shows. Unfortunately, COVID happened, but in 2019, I have the show called Frostbite, and that's the day we dropped the shirts. We have the shirts already printed, and I told this fool Tons like, if you're in charge of Stay Routed, like this is you, like this is your fucking baby for today, because I have to worry about everything else. I have to worry about performing. I can't focus on the shirts. And you come up to me and you're like, hey fool, I sold a shirt. And I was like, nah, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, fool, I sold the first fucking shirt. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
What
that
was
shit was fucking.
were you surprised? Because I mean, I'm gonna
I'm
be
a,
real with you, because I didn't think we were gonna sell anything. Because I was like, oh, it's a basic shirt, Stay Rowdy. Like, well, who the fuck wants to rock a Stay Rowdy shit, right? Like my whole business idea and the business model was to promote it to the big homies, but the person who bought it wasn't a big homie, huh?
nah, it wasn't.
What would
Nah,
talk about how that went down? Because I don't really remember you telling me how that went down. You just told me that you sold the shirt.
I just remembered. Like you know how like obviously you invited a couple people, so I think I invited a few people too, and I think you know somebody came through and they walked up and they were looking at the shirt, and soon enough I fucking they were like, hey, do you have this size? And I was like, yeah, we do. Gave it to her. It was a girl, female. I'm gonna be honest. If I could remember, I think it was
It was Say Less.
Say Less. She was the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that shit. I knew who it was, and shout out to Say Less. She's a rapper out here from South Central. But cause I mean, she not a big homie for so I was like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
So I'm surprised and shit. But you were so fucking happy that day, and I was like, damn, I
Hell
wish I
yeah.
was there for that.
That was the fucking first shirt that so it was cool.
Did that
I
make
was
you
happy
believe?
to. What's up?
That make you believe that we had something really going right there?
Hell yeah. Shit. Right after that first sale, I was like, oh shit, this shit. I mean, it's easy, Not easy, but like we got it. We got it.
Yeah. It was a cool little experience. But I bring up Stay Rowdy because we got some investment from your family, and knowing your family, they're established businessmen, and like I said, you have a lot of connects in the car industry. Have you have you ever like had like something happen where you had to use that network to your benefit? Whereas like somebody needed a tow and then you're like, oh, I got you, or somebody needed a car wash and you're like, I got you. Did you ever had
Yeah.
something like that experience?
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I still do. Like I always be hooking everybody up. The best I can. Whatever I can. Don't get me wrong. There'd be times where I can't. But when I can, I'm like, I'll make sure it gets done. Like if I open my mouth, it always it's gonna have to come. It's gonna
Yeah,
have to
you got
come true. I don't wanna look bad and turn like make myself look bad by saying something. So once I say yes, it's gonna happen. It'll happen. If I can. But I'll make sure of that before I tell you. I give you a yes.
yeah. It's the effort that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in that I've been witness to that for multiple different kinds of connections where knowing a lot of people came through and it benefited you, but benefited us. And one of those times was Stay Rowdy, right? I know a lot of your connections are in the car industry, right? Let's talk
Yeah.
about cars because you're not just plugged in with the car industry, you're also an enthusiast, you're a fan of cars. You want to talk about what kinds of cars you like to work on, the kind of cars are your kinds of favorite kind of cars?
My favorite kind of cars are I like classic old cars. Be anywhere from Impalas, Bel Airs, um, G bodies. I do have a G body myself, a Buick Grand National, '87. You know, it's there.
What is so all right, let's bring this into the let's talk about this real quick. So Kendrick Lamar just dropped GNX, his album.
Yeah,
And at the Super Bowl, he had a GNX on stage. So now there's like they were already valuable before. I remember you used to tell me it's like, yeah, fool, there's car clubs strictly for GNs or G bodies and the Instagram pages and TikToks and all this shit, like social media pages dedicated strictly to G bodies. But now Kendrick, biggest rapper in the world, in my opinion, drops his album, cover, photo shoot. Is about GNX specifically, but just GNs in general. Did you see the rise of popularity after the album?
hell yeah. I mean, for a while, for a bit, yeah. Everybody just started, even on social media. A lot of people just started that have Grand Nationals. They started saying, prices just went up. Prices just went up. You know,
Uh,
and right after seeing that, I'm like, oh, okay, so theirs went up. Shit, mine did too. So
did anybody hit you up trying to buy your Grand National?
man, I get a lot of people trying to hit me up. Trying to buy it. Even like people where I work at, and I've taken it to get fixed because I would do my own like maintenance, brakes, oil changes and stuff. And yeah, every time they see it, they wanna buy it. And even when I take it to my uncle's car wash to get waxed, like to get cleaned up, detailed, man, when they see it that it shine the way it shines, man, and the way it looks, they be trying to offer me some money. So
Uh,
I'm like, man, this thing has too much sentimental value for me to just sell on the quickness like that. I gotta be real down bad in order for me to sell it.
well, you had it in the garage for how long?
Shit, or a little bit over 15 years.
Ooh, that's a long ass time. So it's been in the
It's
garage since the '90s, huh?
pretty much.
Cause you
Nah,
when'd you
it,
bring it
it
out?
it's been in the garage maybe since like because I know right after my pops was driving it, a couple of my family members they had it for maybe about a year or so. Right after they started they were using it, but then um we had parked it because like well, my dad wasn't out, so that why are they gonna let's just keep it saved up. So yeah, it was parked for like 15 years.
And growing
Close a
up,
little.
go ahead.
What's up?
Like 15 years?
Yeah, like a little bit over 15 years it was parked.
But I'm pretty sure growing up, you would see this shit like, oh, this is gonna be mine one day.
Yeah, I used to see that shit in the garage. I remember it was in the garage and we used to fucking like, throw a bunch of like well in the garage we used to have my laundry, my secadora and and lavadora, and we used to fucking like taking out clothes or whatever. Or like sometimes we would put bags of old clothes on top of it. But I used to always fucking look at it and I'm like, damn, someday I'm gonna bring that shit out.
Did you ever because I know you got an older brother, you fools ever argue about who's gonna have it?
You know, yeah, we did a bit. Honestly, it was supposed to be hit like my older brother. He was the one that was supposed to take care of it. Like handle it. And yeah, he just didn't really. Well, he started a family, so he couldn't really put his money into it.
Yeah, shout
So
out to your older brother. That fool's a cool person, though. Shout out to your older brother's a funny ass fool, dog. But it was meant to be. Now it's yours. It's in your possession. But even because of the rise of popularity, what is one tip you would give to somebody looking to buy a Grand National or somebody starting to remodel their old Grand National and bringing it up to modern times?
I mean, a Grand National. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have an advice, because Grand Nationals are Grand Nationals. They're they're only mainly only one. They're only one color. Just make sure you get it painted real good, fixed up. Suspension wise, and just just keep it clean and
Get a good sound system.
get a good sound system for sure.
But besides Grand Nationals, you also have access to classic cars like lowriders, right?
Yeah, yeah. Lowriders, Bel Airs, Impalas,
Your
couple of
fa-
Impala.
your family is a part of a car club. What's the name of the car club?
Yeah, it's Delegation Car Club.
Yeah, and I've been witness and I've been in attendance. My boy Tons has invited me to picnics and car shows and car cruises and shit. I just uploaded on my website. Remember right here on 15th Street, there was one random day we were gonna go to the mall and then hit the reroute, went to Broadway. From Broadway, we came back, picked up the what we pick up the
The Bel Air, the black one.
yeah,
Was
we
it the
picked
black one?
yeah, it was the black one. Went back to Broadway. They're like, oh, the cruise is over. We're gonna go to 15th Street. Now we're on 15th Street, and I was like, damn, this was a long ass mission. I remember that day, and I knew that they were always, that's one of the spots and shit. But I never been there. I never was like there, and we got to see the cars in action. It was dope. But that's been your whole life, right? You've been going to these picnics and these cruises your whole life.
Basically, yeah. Since you know, I'd be going like almost every weekend. Almost before I used to go like almost every weekend for a while for like one summer. But yeah, all my life basically I was just around cars like that. Classics. You know,
I remember in high school one time you like the first time I ever went to the New Year's Eve picnic or the New Year's picnic, and you're like, "Oh, we gotta wake up at like 5 a.m." I was like,
yeah, to
"What
get
the
a fucking
fuck?"
to get a spot, try to get a spot and shit.
And it was over there at the what was it, the Whittier Dam?
Santa Fe Dam.
No, the Santa Fe Dam, right? It was that shit was cracking. I was like, "Yo, what the
That
fuck?"
shit, that shit was popping.
And that's like one of those other things is like two different worlds, and you came into my world, and I was, you were able to see, I was able to see your world. And to me, that was like one of the first times that I realized, like, damn, we are different, but this shit is dope. I love this shit. I was like, yo, this shit is cracking. We're bumping funk music. We're bumping oldies and shit. Cause, growing up, the only time you see lowriders out here, like if you don't own them, I mean, obviously I knew I could like look over and see them and shit, but like you don't see them out like that unless it's in a music video. And most of the music videos I would watch were the rap music videos. So my whole association with lowriders and that kind of culture was with rap and gang banging. Cause remember fucking Boys in the Hood, this fool Ice Cube and all the fucking Chicano fools having lowriders in their videos. Eddie Guerrero with the lowriders. But I remember growing up, I would listen to funk music and oldies. I never really got into it until I started hanging out with you. And that was like the first time I was like, oh, yo, this shit is like real, real. Like, this is for real. Like, this is still active. Cause you think that's some shit from the 90s, wait. You think that's some shit from like the 80s, from back in the day. But this
When
is
they used to-
2011, 2012, right? And that's not, that's 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. It's not that fucking long ago, and it was still cracking, and it's still fucking cracking to this day, huh?
Hell yeah, that shit is still out there.
All right, let's talk about the difference in cars. If you're cruising down the Grand National, what kind of music are you listening to?
In the Grand National, I mean, it's a 87, you know, so anything that has to be around 87, you know, funk, but like, you know, that from that year, you know, 87, rap, you know, some fucking, I still listen to like Snoop Dogg, Tupac, you know, fucking Dub C, Ice Cube,
West Side Connection, fools and shit.
West Side Connection, yeah, and fucking Mac 10. I still be bumping that. Then I get into like fucking Zap and Roger, some Zap and the Commodores, the
Oh,
Zoom.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, so
But but
I love to
rap would be your first choice.
what rap?
Yeah.
Like what do you mean?
Like if you get into the Grand National, for what's the fucking first song you're playing?
I'm gonna I like that fucking MC8.
Okay.
Yeah, some MC8, some fucking what's that shit called?
Like MC8 as a solo rapper or Compton Most Wanted?
Compton's Most Wanted.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, I get into that right there. Shit.
What about the Six
I like
Deuce?
bumping. What's up?
What about the Six Deuce? My bad. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm just saying like I like listening to that gangster shit when you know when you're driving into just
Uh,
cruising around, you know, in the Grand National.
you're on the Six Deuce. What's the first song you're playing?
The first song I'm playing on the Six Deuce, it's gonna have to be War. Don't let no one get you down.
Okay. You're on
Yeah.
the 57. What's the first song you're driving? I mean, your first song you're bumping.
First song I'm bumping, it's gonna have to be some Mac 10.
Mm.
Some Mac 10 Dub C right there. West basically what is it? What West Side Connection?
Your everyday car, dog. What's the first song you listen to?
Man, in my everyday car, I'll be having a mix of everything, man. Like fucking
Because you're not gonna bump Metallica fool, on
nah.
the Six Deuce, right?
I'm gonna be honest. I like on my the regular like a rap. It'd probably be like the new shit that's out. You know, like fucking what do you say? What do you call what's that fool's name? Fuck, young young
Drummer
drummer
Boy?
boy.
Uh,
Yeah, young drummer boy. That right there, you know, or some fucking you know, some LA shit too. You know, I be bumping fuck. I can't right. You know, it's crazy right now. I can't even think of any fucking rapper right now. But I was bumping on my way home right now. I was bumping Money Bag,
uh, Moneybag. Was it Moneybag Yo? Was that his name?
Money Bag Yo. Yeah,
Yeah. He's from Memphis, so that's not even LA. That's
yeah.
from the
Nah.
South.
But today I was bumping that food today, and that shit, you know, it went hard.
Yeah, Moneybag Yo got some bangers and shit.
Hell yeah,
And even speaking on that, for like our taste in music are so fucking different, way. So fucking different. Like the shit that you listen to, that I never that's not my first choice. Like my first choice isn't my first choice isn't even like West Coast rap. My first choice is like Psycho Realm, super underground, or like 90s shit. Like my first choice is like I'm in Tupac, Psycho Realm, or I'm listening to like Mob Deep, and I mean look at it, for I grew up fucking listening to Wu-Tang and yeah, I like listen to the Chronic and I listen to NWA for, but I got fucking a Tribe Called Quest. I got Nas right here, fool. I got ODB, Old Dirty Bastard. I got the Wu-Tang Clan. So like the difference is super different in terms of music taste.
yeah,
But
yeah.
somehow, some way that would make it work. I mean, I think was it when you started bumping Psycho Realm, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, this fool
Bro,
really about Psycho Realm like that?
bro, like I'm gonna be honest, like I never used to listen to that, but ever since I started kicking it with you, I started bumping a lot of shit, you know. Like fucking, I think you even showed me well Psycho Rome. I think you showed me Psycho Rome too. You know,
I got
and
that from
fuck
my cousins. You know.
and fucking remember like Self Provoked and all them.
Oh yeah, like all the Valley rappers fools from like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
2010, 2011, 12.
yeah,
Fora.
yeah.
Remember I was into Fora?
Fora, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I used to tell you, hey, who's that? Who's that?
Oh, that's
And
Fora,
you used
dog.
to, yeah, you used to fucking shoot them through, and I used to be bumping that shit too. You know.
You got the chance to meet the late great Nipsey Hussle, huh?
Yeah, man, those were the good old days right there. He used to pull up at my uncle's car wash. I used to vacuum his car.
Yeah, that was a tragedy, a big loss for the city right
Yeah,
there.
man. I still remember like he used to pull up and everybody knows me like right there at the car wash as nephew.
Ah,
What's up, nephew? And then used to fucking I used to dab it up with that fool. Be all cool right there. He was chilling. He was a cool person, man. I remember him from like before he even got fame. He before he started driving nice cars. You know.
when he was
So
still selling the mixtapes, huh?
yeah, I remember he used to leave them right there at my uncle's car wash and in the tiendita. Um, he used to just leave them right there, and people would take them. And you want to know something? I still remember like they would leave them right there. He would leave them right there, but a lot of people wouldn't even take them. So yes, he'd have a good stack
It was low
right
key,
there.
huh? Nobody
Yeah.
really
So
fuck with him like that yet.
nah, nobody was really fucking with him like that. But I mean, it was cool though. Like growing up and being able to like like kick it with him. When he'd go wash his cars and we'd be right there talking. I still remember one time too. We were right there chilling, and we like everybody at my uncle's car wash. They were doing a carne asada, and he was right there eating with us, man, just chopping it up. It was
Breaking
cool.
bread. Yeah,
Yeah, man, it was cool, man. That was a good experience right there.
that was when you told me that shit, I was like, damn, that's dope. Cause I was, growing up, I knew that your uncle owned a car wash, and I knew that he had it somewhere in LA. I just didn't think it was, on that side.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah,
me? And then when I got the opportunity to go over there and you guys show me the pictures, like, oh shit, that's the fucking same, the same background, same color as in the picture. When obviously it was a fucking whack ass picture because of the quality, but you could
yeah,
see him right there, the skinny. Like I think it was even before he had his goatee, huh?
yeah.
Even
Yup.
before he had his whole beard full, like even before all that, like I was like, oh shit, and that was that's a cool little spot, huh? The car wash is a cool little spot.
Yeah, yeah. That's where you get to meet a lot of people. You get to chat with everybody, and everybody knows you, and you keep it cool with everybody. Good environment. Everybody's just going to go wash your car. Everybody's having a good time. It'd be like that every day. I'm gonna be honest. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice just being right there.
2020 Warzone comes out a couple years ago, and we start fucking gaming. We start fucking gaming like crazy. City's locked down, nobody's out. We're playing Warzone. Fucking Call of Duty Warzone is the best thing to ever happen to fools in their mid 20s, early 30s. Though I'm pretty like teenagers, all the time. But we started gaming, and you started getting cool with some of my peoples.
Yeah,
So now you start, coming into my world, and you get to meet my cousins. You get to meet this with Cosmic. Got cool with So Real, right? You've been in the were you have you ever been there when we were making music?
and
Or
been
we
in
made a
West.
beat, no? When
I
we want to
think
go visit So Real?
one time we made a beat, and then one time I went with you to what is it, that little community thing at
Oh, the youth center. It was my
the youth
internship,
center.
and
I went
yeah.
one time right there with you.
So
It
like
was
this,
cool.
like being able to go to each other's world has been like probably the best thing about our friendship. I bring it up all the time, fool, because in on this side of the fucking on this side of the world, in this part of town, and knowing how things play out in the streets, there's a lot of Fools are always like, they're always turning on each other. There's a lot of ego involved. There's a lot of grimy shit that happens, fool, in this city, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think about it and I was like, damn, fool, like, because for a long time, or even to this day, your Instagram handle, or you used to use that word, that phrase, trust none.
Trust none. Yep.
Talk about that, fool, because it's a deeper meaning than just saying trust none, huh? And this
Yeah,
is like,
yeah.
and this is also a message for the youth.
I'm
Where's
gonna be honest.
where does that come from?
That right there it comes from well,
Sometimes it's your homie, sometimes it's your girl, sometimes it's your family. So it's like you got to be careful who you hang out with. Any other message you would want to leave to the youth?
the only message I'd say is just be cautious, handle your own things and just make your money. Don't worry about what anybody else has. Don't worry about what anybody else is gonna like, don't worry about anybody else but yourself. Just be you, make money, and be happy.
Well, there was one of those quotes. There's a quote that I heard in college that to this day, I would use at my job when I was working with the youth. I worked with youth for 7 years, so I got to work with youngsters, teenagers, and even some post high school graduate going into college youth. And there was a quote that I heard in college said, "It's not about the grades you get; it's about the hands you shake." And it was in college when I started learning about networking and the importance of networking. And we talked about the importance of having a network, and you're the perfect example of what it means to have a big network and learning how to use that network. What is what is a piece of advice that you would have to somebody that wants to start a business, that wants to get their hands dirty and try to make some money from the ground up?
Um, it's like what I've learned growing up, and what I've been told recently too. Um, Gotta learn how to take some risks.
Mm.
Yeah, learn how to take some risks, and eventually it'll pay off.
That's a perfect piece of advice right there. Perfect piece of advice right there. Hell yeah. And it's I've had the opportunity to pick, their brains, these people that you have in your network, a lot of your uncles, some non-family members, family friends. I was dropping gems and shit. So I was excited to hear, yeah, we a lot of this information I already know, but I was like, you know what? Cause look, the way I do my content nowadays, there's a question I have in mind. It's like, what kind of value can the youth get from listening to this? And I was like, who better than my fucking best friend, my boy Tonz, drop some knowledge on cars and streets and business and shit. Knowing a big network, having a big network is fucking key nowadays, dog. It's super fucking
Yeah,
key, dog. Cause look, you try to go to the school route, you try to do the book, and it was cool, but what paid off? Having a big network, and everything, and having fucking a blast while doing it, taking risks. Oh yeah, I've been there. I've been witness. Some of them pay off. Some of them might not. Most of them paid off. And in 20, this is the final story. In 2023, we both found ourselves unemployed, and 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 you're like, nah, I don't know, fool. Like I kind of wanna see what's out there and shit. But your mind kept drifting back towards cars. And in my head, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. Like, I'm done, fool. I'm done with this world. I'm depre, dog. I'm going through it. I'm fucking heartbroken, fool. I'm having all kinds of mental health issues. I'm disabled. I'm legally disabled. I can't work. And what the fuck we start doing, dog?
shit, fucking
Low life shit.
low life shit, going to the mall, fucking with no money. Well, no money to buy shit,
Yeah,
but like obviously to eat. Can never fucking.
can't go
No
wrong with
matter what
food.
it costs. Yeah, you can't go wrong with food. No matter what it costs. But yeah, fucking, we'd be broke going to the mall, walking around.
Doing
That's
nothing.
about it. Doing
Nothing good.
nothing.
Doing nothing good. Going into what's that one? What's that place where they sell all the fucking sex toys? Now, what's that shit called?
Spencer's.
We're going in Spencer's and just being loud as fuck, clowning. It's like, hey, my boy, I got you your toys right here. Yeah, I know that's insider information, but we're exposing it. That's all you're gonna get. Uh, it was cool, right? But I kept telling you, it was like, fool, use your network, use your network, use your network. And you followed on that advice, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And now we were able, and then I was able to use. I took my fucking own advice, dog, because I never really took my own advice like that. I just I would rely on just like the college stuff. And I was like, you know what? Let me follow my own fucking advice. And I reached out to my network, and then in 2024, boom, back to normal, back to fucking normal. But I just had to throw the unemployed homies on a Tuesday at 4 p.m. Into the mix just so it's recorded in history. But we come to the end, dog. We come to the end of the episode. I have one final question for you. If you could talk to the future tons, what would you ask him? I know you got a
um,
question for like, what would you ask him?
what would I ask him? Shit. Honestly, I wouldn't even ask him anything. I'm gonna think about it right now. Let me think about what would I ask him.
Let me throw you some topics so you can get your brain working. You might ask him a question about your health. Would you ask him a question about um career wise? Would you ask him a question about family? Because family could go both ways. You could have your family of growing up, and then you could also have the family that you start. You can ask him a question about shit. You can ask him a question about your homies. You can ask him a question about the country. You can ask him a questions about what I don't know for what gaming. What kind of? I know you had a question. We all have questions for about the future.
I'm gonna be honest. I can't even fucking.
Like maybe like had a question like, damn, am I ever gonna be cured from type 1 diabetes?
Well,
Am
yeah,
I am
that's
I
one of
gonna
the
get a
main
second
things.
Grand National?
That's one
Like
of the things. That's one of the things. Yeah,
what's
I'd probably just, one of the things that I'd ask is just how, like, am I gonna be healthy? Am I gonna be good?
mm,
I'd ask him too. Like,
you asking for some tips?
yeah, I'd ask him for a lot of tips.
Mm. I mean that's it. I think that's cool. I think we'll leave it with that. We'll end the podcast interview with this. It's been a pleasure, dog. It's been one episode I've been looking forward to the most out of any other episode. Just cause you're my fucking homie, dog, my fucking best friend and shit, my road dog, and go way back. But it's
Yeah.
cool, to get you out of your comfort zone because this isn't you. Like
Oh no, this
I'm that
isn't.
loud, outspoken one. This is what I do. I'm the one in front of the camera, and you're the one behind the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
But to be able to get you on camera, dog, has been a long time coming. Any final words?
No, man. I appreciate you having me, man. And I tried it the best I can. Tried
Yeah.
doing this, and it's an experience, and I'm not gonna forget this. Thank you, though, bro.
Well, I mean, this is it, dog. This is it's been like I said, it's been an episode I've been looking forward to the most. And I was like, in my head, I was like, there's a lot of stories. that we didn't get to cover. And then I was like, should I bring those up? And I was like, nah. I think there's a lot of stories that if y'all ever get to see us together, ask us like, oh, you guys had any stories that you didn't tell in the podcast, and we'll be fucking open and sharing them. It's just we'd be here for fucking 10 hours, dog, 12 hours, dog, just telling
Yeah.
story after story. But thank you again, and that's it. Now we come to the end. It's your boy Othree signing off. Don't forget to love yourself today, all right? Adios.